everything is.
You guys scored, easily 46 points in the first half, but only 29 in the second half. What did you get the sense that changed that kind of held you guys back on the offensive end in the second half?
Well, I thought Washington did a good job of really, picking up their defensive effort, blowing up our wings, just kind of turned the effort up. And I think we did a mediocre job of matching that intensity and that focus.
They have a pesky backcourt defensively, and they're putting a lot of pressure on Kelsey Mitchell. How do you kind of energize your offense when she is drawing all that attention? How do you get other players going to set things up?
Well, that's what we talked about. We kind of talked about it in timeouts. And, even at halftime, we knew that they would come hard at Kelsey. But it's just a matter of just focusing on really making yourself available after traps, after ball screen, action. And we wanted to make that happen. But, some of the things that just didn't go our way tonight.
What happened at the start of the second half with Queen when she was still in the locker room? She came on when she came back?
To be honest, I'm not sure. I was just informed by our trainer that Queen was not available to go. So, to be honest, I'm trying to see what the result was because I don't know. I really don't.
In the first half, Deladon got going, but you guys did a great job of eliminating the other Washington players. In the second half, that kind of flipped as Deladon only had 3 points in the second half, and everybody else packed-ins and everybody else started getting going. What do you think changed?
Well, I think, we did a good job on her in the second half because we didn't want her to get loose. But as they picked up their defensive effort, they were able to get a few more transition baskets. They were able to kind of move the ball, advance the ball up the floor, and kind of swing it a little bit more without one-on-one coverage. So they got a lot of more open opportunities. So I think other players just got a lot more comfortable in making plays.
Elizabeth Williams had 10 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 blocks. Why was she so dominant in this game for Washington?
Well, I think, she's one of those players that's a utility player, but obviously, we played out on the perimeter a little bit too much tonight. And she was able to kind of sneak in and grab some boards and just be around the basket a lot more than we would like. We should have kept a body on her consistently. And I think we did a poor job tonight of that.
When there's a defense that's so smothering, how do you kind of work out of that? It seems like obviously you guys did a good job in the first half of kind of keeping them on their toes, but when they push that effort, what do you guys need to do to keep beating them?
Well, I think we need to do a better job of moving the basketball, cutting, and screening more. I think our level of effort just kind of died down. I think we stopped moving the ball with pace. We didn't match their intensity at times. And then I thought we had some great looks at times. I thought we looked pretty decent from a pace standpoint. But overall, just a consistent effort throughout a game. I mean, it's hats off to Washington. That's a good team. And they're good defensively, and they're good on both sides of the ball. So we wanted to make sure that, we matched that from the jump. And I don't think we did a great job of doing that. We had some good looks and some good possessions, but I just don't think overall we had a great effort throughout the course of the game.
When you're playing a player like Elena Deladon, how do you choose to guard her? Obviously, she's bigger than most of the people on the court. And it seemed like a few times when screens were switching, she was maybe being guarded by someone a lot shorter than her. How do you kind of navigate guarding her?
Well, first, you have a player that's as good as Deladon. She's experienced, she's been in the league forever. She has some of the craft in her moves that it's hard to guard. So we have rookies that are matched up with her, and she understands that from a veteran standpoint. So she can use a lot of the, just some of the rookie veteran tricks. So one of the things that I try to tell my ladies is when you are guarding her, you just have to be as locked in as possible because she takes advantage of situations when you're not locked in. So I think overall, she's not as youthful as she was, so she has to use her head a lot more, and she does an excellent job of it. I've watched her forever, and she's a great player. So, hats off to her. But we have young ladies that have really came a long way So they are going to be good as far as listening and learning from a Deladon.
Do you get a sense for why third quarters are the struggle for you guys?
I would say it's a mentality. I think for us, we got accustomed to certain things, and we got to get out that rut as far as like knowing that we got to believe in ourselves. Our mentality has to shift. Going into third quarters, we can't get too high, get too low. When halftimes come, we get into the locker room. We got to be a certain focus and a certain shift in our game that makes us, want to compete at a high level when the third quarter starts.
On their side, T-Ball just said that you blew up his defensive game plan, but you guys still kind of struggled to score when you didn't have the ball as much. How do you kind of get everybody else going on nights where you yourself are hitting shots and clicking?
I think for me, it's seeing the game and making reads. I had a couple TOs as far as like trying to make reads. I take them on the chin, try to be better in better positions. But for me, it's all about making reads. And whatever they give me, I gotta take it. Make the right decision. They do this, I do that. I do this. So for me, it's all about making that right decision.
Coach said their defensive effort in the second half obviously just skyrocketed. You guys weren't really able to match that. Would you agree with that? And kind of how do you try and elevate your guys' defensive effort when they come out?
Yeah. As I said, I think it's for us. It's about we got some youngins. I think for us, it's about making that focus and making that mentality. Like this is what's going to happen in the third quarter against teams like Washington. They're a vet team. They've been doing it a while. They won the championship. Most of them won the championship together. So for us, it's about making sure that we understand those things, understand the personnel, know who we're playing. Specifically when it comes to third quarters, we obviously want to have winning. And we know who we're playing. You gotta know that EDD not gonna go for that. You gotta know Cloud. She's a vet PG. People like Atkins can shoot the ball. Like we gotta know those certain things going to the second half and making sure we register. I think that's our big maturation.
You guys got a few days of practice after the last game, and Coach said how important that was.
Yeah.
And I feel like it did kind of show when you guys came out really strong. Did you feel that those couple days of practice really kind of set the tone for the weekend of the game?
Oh yeah, for sure. It set the tone for where we're going, where our future is headed. We're gonna take a couple bumps. It's gonna be a couple bumps in a row, but practicing is our best thing right now. Making sure we get stuff in, making sure we pick certain things up. We got some, like I said, we got some youngins, so it's it's hot and cold some days. It's like a Sour Patch Kid. Like it's bitter and sweet sometimes because like we get this and sometimes we don't get that. And even me being young, sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. So practicing is our biggest thing right now. It will help.
Just outside of this game, what did it mean to you to be named Player of the Week in the Eastern Conference?
Oh man, I was telling him like it's like you grow to be appreciative because it never happened to me. It's like I can't really put into words how I really feel about it. You definitely got to move on. It's like I plan having a game the next day, but I'm grateful. But like I said, you can't get too high and get too low about it. But to see like my team kind of like appreciate me and our staff, it's the whole organization like take me as a whole and like love on me and congratulate me. That felt really good. So I'm gonna take that and utilize that and put it toward our team.
Speaking of moving on, how do you mentally shift and get ready to go and play New York tomorrow?
Get some food, get some rest, and be ready at 6:45.
What's your food in this instance? What do you got?
Probably some pasta today. I always try to get a lot of carbs, something that like's gonna hold me for a while because my metabolism is so fast. So.
Do you actually feel like that's not good enough?
I do when I was living.
You guys had 46 points in the first half, only 29 in the second. What did you get the sense that kind of shifted in the way you guys were approaching the game that halted you in the second half?
I feel like just our momentum. We kind of talked about in the locker room is just when we get down, not to let that, change the game. So really just changing our mindset. Like when we get down, we know that we're still in the game. There's plenty of time on the clock.
Kelsey was just talking about your third quarter struggles. Do you feel like that mindset is kind of the cause of that? Do you feel like something else is bleeding into that? Where do you feel like that is the lead cause of that for you guys?
Absolutely, the third quarter. I feel like that's one of the most important quarters. Just the way you come out and approach that game, whether you're up or down. It's just that third quarter is so important that you outscore your opponent, and that's going to change the game.
They have a really physical front court. Hines Allen especially is kind of hard to battle with. For you specifically, does that kind of take you out of your game? How do you kind of counteract a team that plays like that?
You just play physical back and try to get a foul goal.
Just going off what you kind of came in saying, just being frustrated, I know that's always a hard transition for athletes in your position. Just used to so much winning, so much success, and then you get to the pros, and it's a process. So how is that for you, just emotionally? How do you work through that and just try to get better every day?
You know, just trying to stay the course. Just every day we try to work on, you know, little things because we're so close. You know, we're so close to being that team that, you know, is in the running for everything. But it's just we have little things we got to fix. Like, we're a young team. You know, we've never played with each other. But when we get those things fixed, we're going to start winning.
This is your third straight game. Going back to the Atlanta game you got injured in, but your third straight game, making multiple three-point shots. What do you think has gotten you in a groove from outside?
You know, just being comfortable. You know, I always could, like, expand my game, but I was never really comfortable. So now that I'm seeing it go in, it's putting my confidence up.
Elizabeth Williams, she had 10 points, 15 rebounds, and 6 blocks today. What made her such a physical, dominant presence inside?
Yeah, she was physical. You know, she crashed the boards, and she got the outcome that she wanted.
They had about 40 points in the paint, I think, and out-rebounded you guys. How do you guys work towards being more physical in the paint? And obviously, a lot of you guys down there are rookies, and, you know, it is a big transition. What do you think, maybe personally or as a team, you guys can work on to match that physicality?
I mean, we really don't get out-rebounded every game. I feel like this is one of the games that we did get out-rebounded. It's just about being physical, you know, winning the rebound. I can at least say for me, you know, having like 3 or 4 rebounds, let's not, like, I got to do better. Just personally, you know, being more aggressive, not letting the fouls take over my whole game. So, you know, just, you know, battling that mentally.
Do you think part of that, those third quarter struggles can be attributed to you guys being such a young team?
Yeah, I feel like, you know, not to make it an excuse or anything, you know, a lot of people have been playing together for a long time. You know, we're just not gelling. But like I said, we're going to figure it out.